I know where your heart is. You're a good dude. So wait, let's talk some shop here, though. You've got a whole team back there.
Yeah.
Give me your overall kind of, I hate the bird's eye view, whatever.
Right.
Give me the macro. I'm feeling pretty freaking amazing right now, but I don't want to pop any champagne corks yet. The numbers are terrible for Kamala Harris. What's your team telling you?
So we just got some numbers here that actually are pretty interesting as far as Florida. Now, here's the thing. To a lot of young people watching right now, they don't realize that we used to stay up late, right, just to hear the results from Florida. So people are taking for granted that Florida's not really close. But we have the numbers. Right. I think Gerald has them in front of me. There was an 18-point swing. Was it Miami-Dade or was it Palm Beach? Gerald will come in real quick.
Miami-Dade 2020, Biden won that 7.3. Trump is leading by 11 right now. These numbers can change a little bit right now. Right, Broward, Biden won by 29 points. Harris is only...
Hello. Post. Oh, yeah.
Up by 20. Palm Beach, Kamala is up 0.7. Biden won that by 12. These numbers are massive shifts.
Massive shifts.
Those counties.
And I think a big reason for it, in Florida, as you look, there's a huge percentage of Jewish Americans obviously voting and the Hispanic Americans. And Donald Trump doesn't need to win those demographics. He just needs to peel off enough people, which is what I think we're seeing. And so we're going to have our analysts there sort of lay over, sort of put these over Pennsylvania with the biggest, obviously, of the swing Jewish voting election base. I believe it's 800,000. So if we're seeing that, it could be actually a pretty early night. Again, we don't want to count any chickens before they hatch. Is it eggs before they hatch? Chickens before they hatch. But the numbers are not looking good for Kamala. Of course, the caveat there is outright theft. We know that.
Yeah, but I think that's good you have Gerald there. We love Gerald. Gerald's like a big wine guy. He sent me a bottle, and usually when people say they're going to send you a bottle of wine, Steve, they send you some cheapo or something. Right. Not Gerald. Sent me like the high. I almost felt bad. I felt like sending him a check. I was like, damn, bro, you know your wine. So we love Gerald. But it makes the Trump strategy, I mentioned this earlier in the show, I'd love to get your thoughts on it, sound like it's pretty genius. You can see at the end, if you notice all the visits they made, they were not abandoning the West Coast, Arizona. They went out there, but they focused heavily on Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia because of what you just said. They're terrified of another late-night ballot drop, this thing dragging till 2 in the morning, and they know if they run up the score on the East Coast, that there's simply no freaking math. If it's PA, North Carolina, and Georgia, there's simply no math for them. And I thought the strategy was genius.
Yeah, the only problem is Pennsylvania, of course, you're saying, it might take them, 4 years to count the votes for the next election. But it may not matter if we're looking at the percentages. Again, we have a team here. We can look at the margins. Even if Donald Trump doesn't win, let's say Virginia or New Hampshire. But if it's within, let's say New Hampshire, 2 points. If it's within 5 points in Virginia, that gives you some pretty good ideas, some indicators as far as momentum. And these states can be called early. So we have some people here who are looking at some numbers that may often be overlooked. I think that's why we have the biggest stream right now in the world, because they really are working hard back there to provide some of this data. Yeah. And, CNN is not having a good night tonight. We know, look, this could go either way, but I think people have good reason to feel pretty confident. It doesn't change that, hey, if you were out there in the West Coast where the polls have not closed, not that I'm going to change anyone's mind right now, make sure you vote. If you're somewhere where the polling stations weren't working and they extended voting hours, make sure you get everyone there who could have possibly missed voting. But yeah, there are a lot of good indicators that we see tonight. And we just talked about, too, I don't know if Rumble Premium, we just launched tonight where Mug Club is Rumble Premium. Donald Trump Jr. is going to be on there, and they're adding content where Mug Club is now officially Rumble Premium. It's all one umbrella, and I know.
Go to salty.
That shit's poison. That shit's poison. Leave my military alone. We need a more sensitive military. Are you fucking kidding me? A sensitive military? I want a savage fucking military. I want.
Talk about
perhaps you could point. Hold on. Perhaps you could point to
talk about the election.
Something that I've said.
What is this?
Ignorant, self-centered. But the one I'm more interested in is the woman-hating psychopath part. So,
what does this have to do with the election?
I said that is woman-hating.
What the fuck?
Actually, I can't think of a single one right now, but I do think that some of the things that you say, I think I've seen like a few videos where you're not. To be quite honest.
Well, let's not worry about the ones where I'm not. You've alleged that I'm a woman-hating psychopath. You've alleged that you can't think of an example, but I'd like to hear at least one example of something that I've said that's woman-hating.
Okay. For instance, I watched I mean, I would like to make it clear that these are only on the shorts. Those were the ones I was talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anything that I've said in the shorts, I said on the show too. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's typically edited down, condensed, but
Yes, I know.
yeah, it's not like
But when you have like 8 seconds, like taken out of context, it kind of becomes its own context. You know what I'm saying?
sure. Sure. So okay, let's assume it's even edited in a way to make me look unbecoming in some way. So what did I say in this edited reel?
For instance, well, this young woman was talking about how she thinks she has to be funny and witty and smart when she's meeting guys. And you interrupted her saying, I don't think that. I think what a woman should bring to me is peace. That's what you said. Something along the lines of that. I'm paraphrasing, by the way.
So
it's like, what I thought that was an example of is how, you just interrupted basically her experience with your own experience. And I'm not saying either of them.
How does that make him a woman hater?
I'm not saying either of them are wrong.
Fuck you talking about?
But it's really not a way
Yeah.
to treat people.
Fuck you talking about?
well, sure. So I'll just go ahead and grant you that I interrupted her. Interrupting somebody means you hate women.
No, but consistently doing it means that, well, at least from my point of view,
Son,
means that
Maybe it means I'm a jerk. It might be
what's your fucking argument then,
I'm
lady?
a jerk or I'm rude. But how do you come to the conclusion that that's woman hating?
What the fuck?
because it's only women you do it to.
No,
I never.
that's bullshit.
Does he interrupt you as well?
I do.
With these kind of
I
things?
do.
Everyone
In fact,
interrupts
last show, I was
everyone.
interrupting quite a bit.
Oh.
But as the host and moderator of a podcast, I interrupt people. Sometimes I have to move things along.
Exactly.
Sometimes people are a bit
fuck?
long-winded, and you know.
Yeah, he
not
interrupts.
angry.
He interrupts the.
Actually,
He interrupts the men on the show, which is the women.
Yeah,
course.
I'll interrupt people. Well,
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
well, in any
Not a
case,
stretch.
Okay, then you're
well,
no,
one
dude.
we've
You're
created,
wrong.
I interrupt the women.
He just
Well,
interrupted
I mean-
me right now. I was chastise him.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of. I'm a man hater, Andrew.
He fucking hate me.
I'm a misandrist. I'm a misandrist.
Misandrist. Oh,
Yeah, but so.
you can be a misandrist.
The hold on. So the other issue here is that the panel is predominated by women. So it's more like, of course, I'm more likely to be interrupting women in general because there's more women speaking.
Also, yes,
True.
But in any case, so just to be clear, someone is a woman
Also-
hater if they interrupt women.
if they don't want to listen to what women have to say.
Oh, I listen to women all the time.
Do you? Really?
I have 6, 7, 8 hour streams where I give a panel of women pretty much total open mic, and I give them plenty of time to state their position and worldview.
You do that.
That's the basis of the show. Is getting like a lot of women who are just, some of them have social media following, some of them are total no media following, just normal women, and here's a mic. Tell me what you think.
Yes. You do that.
But so
That's it.
okay, here. So, but can you, besides the interrupting example, what's another piece of evidence pointing towards me being a woman hater or a woman hating psychopath? Give me
Well, actually, the camera.
Well, he had to check something.
Okay. No, I just felt like I should waiting for you. I
No,
felt
it's-
like that was polite.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think also one of the things. I've also seen you in a show, what do they call it? In a short. I think Madison was talking about something. She wanted to start a channel, and because it wasn't becoming you very well, you went, no.
She wanted to become a whore.
That's really, and that's,
You mean
It's
when
the
when she wanted to become she wanted to become a prostitute, and Brian said no,
no,
don't be a
I don't
prostitute.
think anyone should become a prostitute if they don't want to.
No, I don't
Obviously
think they
not.
should, even if they want to. I still think that you shouldn't be a prostitute, even if you want to be a prostitute. I still think that's bad.
I think that's kind of a.
Yeah, but why would I trust you? You're mentally ill. Like, why would I trust a mentally ill woman to tell me that women who want to be prostitutes should be able to be prostitutes? That sounds insane to me.
I just think it's one of those gray areas where you like. If it, I mean, I'm
It's a
not
gray
encouraging anyone to become a prostitute. I don't want that to happen, but I just think there is like, you can't just say you should do this or you should do that. It's like it's really a very personal choice.
But why would that be woman hating?
Yeah, but okay, wait. Hang on.
Like if
This is
you can treat
crazy.
that in that way.
Wait a
you know,
second.
if
Wait
you
a second.
treat that in that way.
This is crazy. People make personal decisions and choices all the time, which are stupid.
They're not.
Hang on. People make personal choices and decisions all the time, which are stupid. And it's really good if they get it right. This idea that everybody, because they made a personal choice, is somehow okay is dumb. People make stupid decisions constantly, and thank God we have people who talk them out of making stupid decisions. That kid at 18, 19 years old should not become an OnlyFans prostitute. I'll haunt her for the rest of her life, and I'm glad that I was able to talk her out of it, and so was Brian. Why in the world would we want to see our friend hurt themselves like that? Why would we want to see our friend do that?
Well, she's gonna start an OnlyFans.
Yes.
Like prostitute OnlyFans. I was pretty sure she was talking about a cooking channel.
You know, do you know what a slippery slope is?
Ooh, yeah. You're afraid she's gonna go down a slippery slope.
Yeah, I think that once I think that
point.
when you go onto a venue like OF, it's very easy for you to start with benign content, and then as you get propositioned by more and more people, it's very easy for you to slide down that hole. Yeah, I think so.
I think it is very easy, but I think that's where you should actually go in and talk her out of that.
That's what I did. That's what I did.
The fuck is she?
I
What?
did that.
Okay,
I talked
this-
her out of it.
This female is. I can't. I can't listen to her. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Dumbass.
I'm not lying. I forgot to take into
Oh,
account the throwing up,
Bongino.
how that affects your vocal cords.
Bongino.
What? Want to celebrate now? Why do we have another state to call?
That's the biggest. Yes, we have a state to call, but over 556,000 live concurrent. That breaks a record. We have never done anything that big, guys.
Are we sure?
We're just getting started. We are sure.
Okay.
Early. We are sure, baby. 20 days early. We just beat 2020.
All right. Well, let's.
Like 2.5 hours in.
Well, here I want to do something. Nick, if you need to grab a break, or if you need, I want to bring in Lane the Brain with some of those graphs, so we can show them.
Yeah.
What it is, because we haven't shown that yet. And by the way, you still have Dan's feed up there, so you guys might want to close it because I'm still watching him. So we can bring it. Yeah, I was super sorry. I know we haven't done a commercial break yet. We've been going for what?
We've been going
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's-
Go ahead, Nick. And by the way, as you go out, let me plug your Ottumwa, Iowa.
This Saturday night.
This Saturday.
Gotta
Ottumwa,
remember where
Iowa,
this
the Bridgeview
is.
Center Theater. And look, Donald Trump Jr. told you. Dan Bongino will tell you. OG, funniest man alive. If you want your side, okay, this is the greatest endorsement I could give him. I would not chance going to see him live with my stomach flu, and there's not a hint of hyperbole, because I would lose friends. It's uncontrollable laughter. So go see him this Saturday, November 9th. Hey, you're supporting Donald Trump tonight. Go out, support live comedy. Nick, go take a bathroom break, and we'll bring in Lane the Brain.
Yeah, baby.
All right, thank you, sir. We appreciate it. I know, and then eventually I'll get a break where I'll eat some beans.
I'm not sure that we're going to be able to make that happen ever, but we'll get around to it.
So please, everyone out there, share. If you're on X, share. If you're on Rumble, share. If you're on YouTube, like, share.
And then go to Rumble.
It's already #1 in the world. Just show the rest of the world why you bet right, why you tuned in here tonight. No one is going to do it better tonight than we are. We are going to have up-to-the-minute data and a more granular look
Okay, talk
at data. Do we want to go, people?
talk about the thing. Stop talking about the thing. Talk about the thing.
Break things. Thanks, Matt. They should kill people, break things to a big enough extent in a showy, flashy enough fashion that most people, let's not fuck with them. Let's not mess with them. That's what I'm looking for. A kinder, gentler military. No, we don't. No, we don't. Are you fucking kidding me? Boys. U.S. election, Donald Trump. Did Fox call Arizona yet? These assholes at Fox
given a little bit of Arizona, the sundown state. Oh, what the fuck is Arizona called? Whatever Arizona's called, the prickly state. It's fucking cactuses. Fuck Arizona. It's hot. It's either hot or cold, and there's fucking plants that will eat you in that place. Anybody who lives in Arizona is insane. Pay for Mug Club? Yeah, I'm here. Oh no, Salty Army is the best army. I don't motherfucking you motherfuckers forget. Thanks, Ally man. I like you more than a friend. Thanks, old metalhead. Man, appreciate it. So, there's Tennessee. Looks like Mississippi. They've called Florida. Have they called Florida already? That can't be right. Was it that bad? Was it that bad for Kamala that they've already called Florida? Holy shit! Fucking obliterated. We should pull up Chunky Yogurt Stream. Chunky Yogurt Stream in 2015 was the best fucking stream ever. They start off and they're celebrating, they're doing drugs and blowing each other. And as the night goes on, you can see the despair in their eyes, their beady little shitburger eyes. Fucking glorious. And now we've got Anna. Now Anna's on our side. We fixed her, boys. We fixed her, old metalhead. Nice to see you live. LPG, thanks, brother. So, yeah, they just called Florida, I guess. Pennsylvania. Oh, those are the exit polls. Oh, shit. Whoa, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Pennsylvania. Fucking Amish. The Amish and you sons of bitches who went after work, they were nervous in Pennsylvania. They're sitting there going, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Not a lot of dudes showing up to the polls in Pennsylvania. The Amish said, hold our fucking beards. Amish, look, listen, don't take this the wrong way, because you'll never hear it in the first place, Amish. Even with your ridiculous fucking hairstyles, you guys still look great. Shine on, you butter-making motherfuckers. Butter-making motherfuckers, eh? I don't even know if they make butter. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I think about the Amish. Other than you guys look like ants. You guys will put an entire barn up in a day. And not like a fucking barn, like a tough shed barn, like a fuck you, I can see you from space barn. The fuck are you Amish doing in the barns? How much wheat could you possibly grow in a barn without electricity, Amish? and then fucking, so people were worried about Pennsylvania and like, oh shit, the dudes aren't turning up. Yeah, because the dudes are at work. And the work ended and they're like, holy shit. Where's Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk was like, holy shit, the cavalry has arrived. All these fucking dudes. Without even time to wash the grease from their fucking hands, they show up to the polls. And they bring that big dick energons, boys. Together united with the Amish. The mechanics of the world will save America. Holy shit, man. Exit poll. Pennsylvania independent. Oh, is that independent voters only? 1 second. Before I get too excited, we should probably read these. That is one of the key aspects of, yeah, son of a bitch, independent voters. Okay. All right. That's one of the things with ADD. You kidding? People with ADD, I read all of this at one point, but I'll miss words. I'll miss words. So if you have a kid with ADD, give your kid some fucking slack and relax. Your kid will be fine, right? But teach them how to pay attention to detail. I just fucking skip on it. I can go, exit polls, Pennsylvania. Holy shit, we're crushing. All right, with independent voters, by the way. That's still fantastic. That's still huge. No independent voters. You're not an independent voter and you're like, that vote for Kamala. No, you're an independent voter and you're going to be like, son of a bitch, I really wanted RFK. Okay, well, I guess I'll vote for Trump. Guess I'll vote for Trump. Put on Charlie Kirk stream's got a map in the electoral vote count. We are up 134 to 57. Are you fucking kidding me? Where's my boy Charlie Kirk? Okay, be like one of those asshole, commie lefty fucking streamers that just streams other people's shit while I sit here and eat McDonald's. They're fucking scumbags. All right, Charlie, do all the heavy lifting for me, brother. I'm just gonna sit back.
Which is, I believe that's Asheville. Trump's leading in Virginia.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
By the way, Virginia's very misleading. It's a red mirage state. We take the lead usually, and then they come back.
It is.
Okay?
Just red mirage, by the way, is a term that was coined when they started really using mail-in ballots to steal an election. Red mirage is we're going to use mail-in ballots in the middle of the night to steal a fucking election. Thanks, Lord. My 88-year-old Marine vet dad, Jerry, is at the Veterans Home in Youthville. He's one of the few non-commies there. He watches you and watches me tell you to keep fighting. Honky lips! I'll, watching the show here in the Great White North. Good luck to you, MAGA garbage cousin from a member of the fringe minority with unacceptable opinions. Thanks, Hill. Hal Bailman. Thanks, man. Thanks, Sid. Yeah, we've got a long road ahead of us to fixing this country. We got a lot of real dumb motherfuckers in this. You got dudes who are still wearing fanny packs, unironically. Hey, look, Kamala Harris support. Like, really though. But Ray over here, he voted for Kamala. Why? He prefers less restrictive immigration policy. You might want to rethink that. No, you don't understand. Every single person who breaks into this country is a good person. They've got to have a pathway to citizens. Yep. They're going to rape you. They're going to rape you and your stupid little fanny pack, weirdo. It's going to be horrible for you. Also, super duper concerned about global warming. Holy fuck, are you real? Are you fucking kidding me? Why am I not showing for a lefty? Look at you. I know that they say that you can't judge a book by its cover. And to that I say, fuck you. I'm going to take this book, I'm going to throw it into the freezer, then I'm going to throw it at you. How about that? Idiots. I can judge all types of books by their cover. Yep. Yes. Fucking fanny pack. White dudes for Harris, boys. White dudes for Harris.
I've got a vagina.
Brought to you by White Dudes for Harris.
Fucking gold.
I've got a vagina.
Brought to you by White Dudes for Harris.
The simplicity of that.
I've got a vagina.
I know. Compound sensor, boys. Average white dude for Harris. This is real. This is one of those. I'm going to debate Ben Shapiro. Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't debate Ben Shapiro. You're mentally ill. I'm not mentally ill. You're a chick pretending to be an ugly dude. And then you tell everybody that you've got a vagina.
I've got a vagina.
I know. I got a suspicion that Dave over here's also got a vagina. Just guessing. Gotta get that black chick in though, right? Because she's black with a vagina. I know, she's black, she's got a vagina. I don't care though. What are you, a racist? Is that the new definition of a realist? I'm a realist. You guys are fucking insane. This chick's crazy. She keeps doing. She's just the Kamala with her Thonala and her Pamela is over here, and everything that she does is fake. Every single thing she does is fake. Fucking weird. How you doing? You did. Oh, that's the cameras. Why are you talking to your camera? And that's not how any of this works. She's so fucking stupid. She keeps doing this. She'll have her headphones in, and they're not plugged in. doing the work while listening to that wet ass pussy. Yeah, those aren't plugged in though. Yeah. How is that? How's that working? Shut up! I got that black girl magic. I don't need to fuck shit in. You'd be shocked at the type of things, the inanimate objects that I could use to make phone calls across this time-space continuum. Because I got that black girl magic. I'm like the black female equivalent of Professor X. That doesn't make any sense. Professor X isn't a witch. It's still good. Pima County, boys. How's Pima County doing? Pima County is the bluest county in Arizona, and the Democrats are getting ass blasted. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Listen, if you're in Pima County, you still go down there, vote. No. These fucking people need to be politically curb stomped. Politically curb stomped. All right. Malcolm Flex. It says 101 to 71. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Come on, George. Let's go. Let's go, George. Don't be stupid, George. What the fuck's going on here? Fix this. Fix that, PA. Fix it. Yep. God bless America. I hear that. Hear that. We've got the left-hand side pulling out all of their diddlers, boys. Today you got Joe Rogan. I don't know. On one hand, I don't give a shit about endorsements. I don't base my vote off of anybody in sports or like fucking movies. I mean, excuse me, that's disgusting. I'm not going to, shit on somebody endorsing Donald Trump. But I'm also kind of like, well, I don't care. It doesn't resonate with me. So I guess I understand that it resonates with other people. But Joe Rogan finally last night endorses Donald Trump. I'm like, of course you're endorsing Donald Trump. But there's only two people that could possibly be elected as president. Right? Dr. Cornel West isn't going to win. Jill Stein isn't going to win. It's Donald Trump or this cackle chick. And nobody wants cackles. Like, for fuck's sake, you fled California. You fled California and New York. These are beta tests for the globalist agenda that's masquerading around as the Democrat agenda. You fled that place. How dare you flee California, head to Texas, and not... This endorsement, by the way, as great as it is to, I guess, have it for right-leaning people who give a shit, I don't know how this works, but where the fuck was this last week when it was... Seems like this would have been a little bit more useful last week, asshole. I don't know what bug is up my butt with Joe Rogan, but it's up there, right? Reporting in from Maine, voted red all across the board tonight. Polls close at 8. Wait for the results. Long live the racist Nazi orange Cheetos man. Man, thanks, bro. F my 500. Let my betting streak ride. Whoa, Tinderbox, thank you. Looks like you used to repeat that. That's disgusting. Pulls this up. There's Joe Rogan, and they got a Joe Rogan-sized endorsement today for Kamala Harris. That's right. Oh, shit! What is going on? Oh, shit! Oh, what is... Oh, my God! It's over, boys. She's got the Orlando Bloom. Is it 2001? Nobody gives a fuck about Orlando Bloom. What happened to this dude? What happened to this dude? Was Legolas. Do you guys that trilogy's old enough to drink? I think at this point. Holy shit, we're so old, guys. We're so old. No country for old men, boys. Has he done anything in the last 30 years? Here he is with Katy Perry, and they're voting for Dougie. We support you, Doug, and your ongoing litigation against the character for utilizing your likeness and lameness. That wasn't real. That was a stupid, horrible Saturday Night Live. You're fucking stupid. Why would anybody listen to any of these fucking people? Why would anybody listen to Joe Rogan when it comes to voting? Why would anybody listen to Katy Perry when it comes to it? If you are so fucking stupid that you get your politics from any of these idiots, you fucking shouldn't be allowed to vote in the first place. We're going to revoke your ability to vote in the future. We're going to find you. Oh my God, the woman who goes, I got fireworks from my titty. She's gonna vote for Kamala Harris. You're gonna vote for. You're fucking stupid. Fuck, you're stupid. Excuse me. Have yelled at Abe more than George this month. You're right. Like, thanks, you're a red one. I ain't yelling at. I'm not yelling at. I'm afraid of George. George slits necks. This guy ain't. How's he gonna slit anybody's neck? That fucking still tight habit is. Those 4 albino twats in Vegas promoting white dudes for Harris better not the 4 horsemen of sucking dick. Arthur Kwan Lee, longtime viewer, reborn proud, racist, soul overflowing, yellow peril. White dudes for Harris? What is that, bro? Thank you, appreciate that. I'm not quite sure what that is. But yeah, no, we got to make sure that, you know, we got to rescue America from lefties. Because we got a gigantic problem with weakness. Don't be weak. Get out there. Get healthy. And, by the way, thank you to our number 2 sponsor, Field of Greens, boys.
Hang out with us, so we'll talk to him for a second. As soon as you get him, let me know, and we can do the introduction.
Plus 20 plus, maybe you start forgetting.
Everyone always does this. Everyone always does this.
Kamala backed Biden on everything.
Nobody cares.
She supported.
Nobody cares. Shut up.
Numbers, yeah. The ABC Ipsos.
I know Tucker will be talking about it.
Well, yeah. Okay. We are now on the question of who will win the election in Wisconsin for president. We are Donald Trump 56, Kamala Harris 44. And it's changing even as we speak. 56-44. Well, it's readjusted. Whatever.
But it was like that was as of like 10 minutes ago or something, right? It's rapidly changing.
seconds ago. Yeah. So, you think he's got a shot at Wisconsin?
Yeah, I think so. And I think we'll know Wisconsin probably before Pennsylvania based on how long they're actually saying the ballots are going to take to count. So it might take
an awful. Because is it because Pennsylvania is such a long state?
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a very satisfying explanation.
Oh, okay.
In the year 2024, we're able to catch
Tennessee
rockets.
is also a long state too,
Yeah, it
right?
kind of is too, right?
Here's
We were able to
Vivek.
catch rockets falling out of outer space.
Vivek.
We can't count some votes that were
Vivek.
submitted in the same race that we did about 40 years ago.
104,000 people in chat.
Because the third world is
Holy
well,
fuck.
actually, for all the stuff about Puerto Rico,
104K. That's insane, dude.
and they do their elections really well. Single day voting on election day. It's a holiday for the entire island.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Paper ballots, and they actually make you.
I wonder if that's the biggest stream right now.
Make sure that they check it like an amusement
Who else
park.
would be bigger than 107,000?
Get the results quickly. Oh yeah.
Everyone's got a purple finger. I've seen.
I think that we can learn something from Puerto Rico and how they run their elections, and I think that we're the ones actually doing it.
If a country
third
that
world
can't
way right now.
produce reliable electricity can have free and fair elections, then I think we can too.
Well, I think we're going the other direction. They're trying to also make sure that we're not also able to produce electricity here, right?
Oh, I'm laughing. It's
Just messing up our elections is the first step to getting to also not running our electricity by shutting down our coal mines and not fracking for natural gas. But we're maybe about 7 hours from changing that.
So why would Barack Obama, and I'm sorry to be cynical, but I spent all 8 years of his presidency in the United States watching carefully. Why would he tweet out like it's a great thing that it's going to take days to find out who the new president is? Election workers are heroes. Respect them. Thank them. Don't share things before checking your sources of apparently the upload on YouTube. Right? How dare you, Barack Obama? Liar. Lecture me about accuracy and then let the process run its course. It takes time to count every ballot. Well, not in India, it doesn't.
Oh, this came out today, though.
Yes.
I think it's clear why this is coming out today.
Yeah, so Obama's telling us like it's going to take forever to we may have leaks in the pipes in Polling station. If Kamala actually was surging, this tweet would not have gone out. So it's, I mean, whatever. We all know it. Politics is a game of self-interest. They don't want to look like fools at the end of this. If it goes longer, there's some probability that things could change in their direction. So yeah, I mean, I think he's tweeting according to his incentives. I think. And again, not to, well, he is. You're exactly. And I don't mean to feign shock. I watched this guy for 8 years, but have you ever seen an election go into overtime and the Republican win? No, not that I can first. You've been around long. I don't think so. No. Yeah. I don't think this is going. I think that Trump used this expression. I think it was smart to make the rig. I think we are. It certainly feels to me on our way to get. So here's Chris Wallace. Here's someone I've never quoted. Chris Wallace is one of the most loathsome women in television. But let me just quote this headline. CNN host Chris Wallace argues Kamala Harris would be, quote, a miracle given exit polls. Well, I don't think a miracle is coming for her tonight. And, I mean, look, I think that one of the risks, I mean, I feel really good about tonight. If it's great, I'll wake up tomorrow morning, maybe even, we know that Donald Trump's the next president. That's the start line, right? And so if you look at just every way this machine, you just trace the last year, right? This machine tried to do civil suits first, then criminal suits, then extrajudicial attempts to remove him from the ballot, then more extrajudicial attempts on his life. Not one, but then two. So they've tried every trick, and that hasn't worked. And he's still going to win. It looks like, I don't want to counter-ticket, but resoundingly, what's the next remaining step is to impede the administration. And there's multiple ways to beat it. You can beat it through the front door, you can beat it through the back door. And so I think that in some ways, this idea, and I think a little bit of the feigned retreat, the psyop, self-consciously and all of this, if we're not aware of it, is that somehow November 5th is like, yes, then we've done it. Or November 6th, we wake up tomorrow morning, we think we've done it. And I think that's just us getting started. And I think the real fight, in some ways, either begins or continues. That's totally right. That's kind of, I think, the check
Can I ask
that I
you
want.
a personal question? Is this? We're on the internet. You can say whatever we want. How did you wind up? You and Trump have such an easy relationship. He seems like you. You seem like him. You ran against each other, but you don't do the ass kissing thing that a lot of people do.
I can't.
But okay, but I mean, I watch like Pompeo is like giving Trump a tongue bath every time. Oh, Donald Trump, you're an asshole, or whatever. It's just like repulsive and it's transactional and false, obviously, as Mike Pompeo is. But you don't do that. You never kiss ass. But you're correct. And, you just seem to get along. How did you? So far,
get
so
along
good.
with the guy you ran against, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that I committed myself to in the race is the easy thing to do would have been to slam Donald Trump for something that he said that you disagreed with. Yeah. And for me, he actually was objectively the best president of the 21st century. People say, how could you run against him and say that? Well, first of all, that's like the easiest thing you could possibly say. You got George Bush, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump. So it sounded really great, but it's like the most obvious statement I could have made, and people said, "Oh, is he running as some type of Trump ally as in the race?" So to the contrary, I think we started from a good place.
The hottest Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
The best caterer in Tajikistan.
but that understates actually how good of a job he did. And I think it's our candor that allowed us to build a pretty good friendship afterwards as well. I knew him for a while, but we've only gotten to know each other really well after I left the race this year. And yeah, I'm not a natural sycophant, and I think Donald Trump actually appreciates having people around him. You know what? I agree with speak, and I respect him more because of that. Because that's not the media narrative that you get about him. But what I've seen is he's somebody who wants to be challenged. He likes to actually, when he asks you for a question and you're just giving some sort of nodding response, that's not helping anybody versus sharing what your actual opinion is. Now, he'll bust my balls sometimes for. He'll say, "Todd, you talk too fast or give me a headache." But he's joking around with me, and I think that's part of what's made us have a.
No, I think that's absolutely right. I think it's really insightful. You just said Trump does love butt kissers, but he likes the people who don't butt kiss even more. Actually, I think that's true. I think that's true. Yeah, and good for him. So when do you think? I'm sorry to ask you about politics, but you ran.
Yeah, I know.
When do you think we know?
So I should tell you, there's a lot of things that I think I have authority on. Horse race politics stuff is absolutely not it. But I think probably tomorrow morning. I think Wisconsin, we know by tomorrow morning. So I think basically it'll go Arizona, North Carolina, Georgia, Wisconsin. And then that's basically game over. So Pennsylvania will still take a long time, and I think we'll win Pennsylvania. Credit to a lot of Elon and Scott Prestle, a lot of people who played a lot of groundwork there. Not necessarily the traditional party machinery, but the outside of party machinery that's laid a lot of
lot of groundwork
It's
there.
not the traditional party.
I mean, if you look at Arizona, I'll give a lot of credit to Turning Point. I think they've done a really good job out there. Incredible. I mean, I visited them recently. The analytics were really. I mean, just like as like a business person looking into the rigor with which they're running it there, and to some extent Wisconsin too. I'll give Turning Point a lot of credit for those two regions as well. But who cares about who gets the credit for what? It's the objective.
Well, it's interesting. No, it does
But
matter
you
because
learn
it's
for the
not the
future.
party that did it.
You
It's
learn
not,
for the future.
it's not the RNC. It's Charlie Kirk, who's like 30 and doesn't have a college degree, and it's like turns out to be better at
Kind of a genius at this, actually.
I absolutely agree with that, and I think a really good guy. But so that's meaningful, though. So if the biggest players in all of this, you had no background in marketing at all, right? Elon Musk,
Totally.
Charlie Kirk. I mean, these are just people like Donald Trump himself,
Totally.
who came from outside and have really. Do you think the Republican Party has permanently changed?
Yeah, I do. I think that this is a redefining election. I think that's what makes this win even more exciting is that the Republican Party, to use a Kamalanism, we ain't going back. You know, and I think that that's true here, and that will be one of the parts of this victory where, like, I'm just thinking about we're again here talking. Let's just talk frankly.
Yeah.
Right? I was on the stage with a lot of people who were of an old garden variety, stuffed suit, Republican mold from the past. Yeah. And it's not taking anything away from them. I mean, people come into politics, that's what their career has been. I think the Republican Party of the future is going to be defined by people coming in from the outside who have a fresh perspective, who are able to speak hard truths to Democrats, but also to yesterday's Republicans as well. And we become, I hope, this party of just practiced evolution, right? We're just repeatedly evolving in a way that it doesn't become stultified, doesn't just become tied up to dogmas. And this is something I've actually been, this not to get too philosophical, but I don't want to see the America First movement do what the neocon movement did for 20 years, which is, and I see some of this, right? You know, we're the party of the working class to some guy who like 10 years ago was saying something else, but doesn't know why he's saying it today. I don't want people saying things out of habit. Like, we want people who understand why they're saying them. And, you know, people like Elon and people like Bobby Kennedy, who I respect, and JD is an outsider, Donald Trump is the ultimate outsider in this. I think that it's going to take people coming from the outside who are thinking people, who, by the way, all of us who I just named don't agree with each other on 100% of issues, right? And that's cool. But that, I think, is going to be the character of the new Republican Party.
It is new, and this really is going to, this is a concern for me, wreck Mitch McConnell's retirement party.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I just wasn't around in politics enough to know enough about that legacy to even care about it.
So let me
Like,
just
doesn't
bottom
matter
line
to
it by saying that's a good thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter to me. Like,
Election discussion.
place to see all
But
the
how do you
Well, we're
individuals.
not
Yeah, I
talking
saw
about
that.
elections either.
Yeah, we're doing an intermission to
Oh.
have like a debate with a feminist. So, what? Okay, you said education on a couple of journalistic disciplines.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know, bro.
What are you talking about?
Women
Among other
really
things,
want to abort their
research.
kids, bro.
What do you mean
Really
research?
want to abort their kids. I'm telling you.
Research what?
And do you know the information of an angle? That would have been nice.
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
Angle. No,
What are you
that's the thing,
talking
you
about?
don't know anything about these things, do you?
Don't know anything about what?
How journalists actually work.
I'm not a journalist.
I know you're not a journalist, but maybe that would help you.
In what way would it help
Huh?
me?
All right, there, I muted it again.
Fuck. Is it this same crazy woman?
No, she's bitching at Brian for being rich. Okay, I want to hear this a little bit.
Structured around my.
Yeah, well, you call this a talk.
Wait, so
I
hold
would
on.
say it was
So
an
I
interview.
have. Yeah. Okay. So a couple things. So one, it's a dating discussion podcast. First off.
Okay, they're muted. Yeah, riveting stuff. Yeah, the 9 p.m. big polling changes. Yeah, I know.
9 p.m.
We're coming up on 1 minute before we see these.
Yep, right now. Here we go. It's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
this wasn't how I pictured it either.
Literally,
I
like
thought she was going to come in to have a fucking debate, not prattle her fucking mouth.
right now, 9 p.m. November 5th. That's weird, man. That is so weird. Right now, November 5th. 2024. Pretty much fate of the whole fucking world.
I did tell him that.
So if these fuckers fucking keep doing what they're doing, a lot of bad,
I want to see what these next polls are that come in.
a lot of bad shit will happen in the world if they fucking stay in charge.
We're beating the quartering. We're beating everybody, dude. We were beating everybody tonight on our election coverage. Beating fucking everybody.
I mean, beating.
Quartering's got 1.8 million subscribers. We were beating him in live viewers tonight.
Tucker had
This is a complete waste of
107,000.
my fucking time and Brian's. We need to get back to our election coverage, and we need to do it like lickety fucking split. Yeah, came in. Let's take a look. We got Trump at 120. He did get West Virginia. That's good.
Hmm.
Michigan's in play. Michigan and PA. Those are the big ones. Michigan and PA. That's what you get for not listening to your chat, delivering subpar product. Thought this was your Super Bowl. Shut up, fucking idiot. Shut up. What do you think? What do you want me to do? I agreed to do this debate. I didn't realize that that was what it was going to be. If Kamala wins, will it be because too many Christians didn't vote because of Trump's abortive stance? Yeah, probably. Destiny has 65,000 watching. Which doesn't surprise me. He has major names on tonight.
That's crazy. Wow.
Major fucking names on. And they're combining their audiences. For me, just doing solo, no, he's not at 850,000. He's at 68K. I just went and looked. I'm looking at it right now. He's at 68,000. Yeah, he has an entire fucking election crew over there.
I made Andrew laugh last night.
Projecting Trump at 194.
He didn't say my name, but I made him laugh in the live stream because he read my comment. I don't remember what it was, but it was fucking hilarious. It's pretty cool. FTFE said the name and said something to me in live chat. That was pretty cool.
I'm going to let them do their thing, and I'm going to get back to election coverage because I just don't fucking care about that.
And
I don't care about it. I want to
another crazy thing. I'll talk about it some other time.
get back to my election coverage, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, election
So I
coverage.
just left
Good.
the convo. I'm not mad at Brian. He wants to have his convo. He's totally allowed to have his convo. I want to watch the election on election night, though. So that's what I'm going to do. That's literally just what I'm going to do. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go back over so I can get back on the map and take a look, because this is the major pivot point of the night, coming in at 9 o'clock. And I want to pull it up and get back to it. So
Carolina and Georgia moving toward photo finish for both.
What about Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania's a little bit farther behind, Nora. We have 16% of the vote in. We don't have a lot of the map colored yet because of that 16%. So we're still waiting for more data from the various counties to have a stronger coloration and presentation for you. And we can't, because of that, we can't give you an outstanding vote or a needs analysis quite yet with only 16% in.
And that's why we see people saying as some of the polling places in Pennsylvania have remained open. You see supporters saying stay in line,
Right.
carry out that vote. Thank you.
And the estimates and the way we put this together are really data dependent. So we need a substantial amount of numbers coming in to match with the exit poll data before we can even begin to do the estimates that I just showed you for North Carolina and Georgia. That's why we're not able to do that in Pennsylvania yet.
Ask your patience. All right. Thank you, Major Garrett. I want to turn to 60 Minutes correspondent Cecilia Vega. I know you have some new reporting.
Yeah, Nora, we are just hearing from the Republican Secretary of State in Pennsylvania, Al Schmidt, whom we interviewed for a story for 60 Minutes a couple of weeks ago. He just held a news conference in Philly. His role is exceptionally important there because he's overseeing the race in this complicated state. And what he says is, here's the headline: we will not have in-person turnout numbers tonight in total. So we will not be expecting to hear a final count from Pennsylvania. He says they're very, the numbers, they're seeing very high turnout numbers in the state for an election year. And here's his plea of at the American public waiting for these results to come in. He's asking everyone to be patient. Counting millions of votes accurately takes time, and we want to take the time to get it right. They're looking right now, he says, at some 2 million mail-in ballots. That's a headline because they had in 2020 2.5 million mail-in ballots. Schmidt says that though should not be interpreted as a reflection in enthusiasm. We were expecting, after our conversation with him last
We're not
month,
going to know
to see
tonight.
perhaps a little
That's
bit of a
crazy.
return in counting in Pennsylvania because of how some
That's not
things have
good.
Here it
changed,
goes, boys.
there. We expect to see fewer
That's not good.
mail-in ballots
Goes,
than we did in
boys.
2020, of course, because that was the height of COVID, and that's how
Fucking
people
knew
were
it.
voting. We've also seen some technology advancements in the state where machines are faster
Yeah,
and they're
bullshit.
opening up these envelopes there. But counting in Pennsylvania is complicated. They did not, by law, start counting ballots until 7 a.m. today. They're one of the few swing states, battleground states, where they have this no pre-canvassing law in place. So we always have a delay in Pennsylvania. In fact, Al Schmidt even told me he hates the word delay because it's not actually just a delay. It's just how they count Pennsylvania. Buckle up, it takes time. So I'm saying that doesn't mean anything is wrong.
That's a really good point. I like the way you make that. Yes.
But I also think it's interesting, Mr. Schmidt's very colorful language the other day when he was saying anybody who was thinking about interfering in this election, he was basically saying bring it on because we have jail cells waiting just for you. He's very sure that they are very safe in anybody who is voting in Pennsylvania.
You don't want to go up against anybody in Philly talking like that either.
No, you don't.
In part because what transpired just up the street a few days ago seems to be paying off for the Harris campaign, not the Trump campaign. The Madison Square Garden event, where that comedian said all those nasty things about Puerto Rican.
All those nasty things.
They noticed this morning the
A
turnout
joke.
in the three most Puerto Rican dominant wards around Philadelphia had exceeded the 2020.
Did he say about Puerto
29%
Ricans
had already shown up by lunchtime
or
today.
Puerto
That's a
Rico?
good
I
sign.
fucking hate
You
these
saw
people.
her last week campaigning
Shit
across
they
Philadelphia
say.
as if she was running for mayor. They put her in front of a black audience. She went to a deli. She went to a Puerto Rican restaurant. All of it designed to drag.
There's a
people
pile
out
of
their
fucking
homes.
floating
Look,
garbage. What the
this is
fuck do you
why
mean?
tonight
Like it's a fucking.
Democrats are feeling, as Nancy said a while
It's
ago,
look at the
fine, because
garbage.
ultimately they
It's
believe this
there's
is going to
garbage.
get them the votes they need. The other
They have
thing,
a
and I
huge
think
fucking
if you
trash
tuned in 4
problem.
years ago and now you're tuning in again, you think to
It's
yourself,
not
I
even.
thought all these
It's
states
less
fixed
of a
things to
joke
make
than
things faster.
a
Pennsylvania is the big
description.
exception. If we have
If
50
anything.
states with 50 different sets of rules, Pennsylvania said, hold my beer, because the 67 counties of Pennsylvania do things a little differently, and that is why we're waiting. They had the chance to fix that, right? A divided legislature.
Shocking the legislature couldn't get an election law done. Yes.
And Gail, I understand you have some reporting about Northampton County.
Yeah, you know, it was interesting because we on the fence, but after that comment from the comedian, she said, "Nope, I'm now leaving Trump." But I said,
It makes no sense.
They said it did
It
not
makes no sense.
stop it, and they took
Being made a joke.
What do we got?
That has nothing to do with the guy. Nope, I'm not. I don't want.
What's our count right now?
Oh my god. Okay.
What's our count? I'm way fucking behind now.
Population for the Trump campaign and saying, oh, no, this
The
is just
estimated
not gonna
electoral votes that I'm seeing right now is 281 to 257, with Trump winning at 281.
Well, the Harris campaign seems
I've got
to think
194 Trump to 95 Harris right now.
insulting. No one is saying
Yeah,
he's not.
exactly.
He even said that.
Ohio
and
got
was
called for
defending
Trump.
Donald Trump. But in terms of the targeting of groups, one thing we have seen
Yep,
the Harris
Ohio
campaign
did get
also
called
try
for
to
Trump.
do is target all the
Correct.
Eastern Europeans or those of that ancestry
Wow.
in the state of Pennsylvania. 800,000 polls. The Ukrainians, the Eastern Europeans. You had President
every
Zelensky
state so
come and
far.
tour one of the weapons facilities
Um,
in Pennsylvania, something that earned
I mean, Election
him
Desk
the ire
HQ.
of the Republican Speaker of the House. But you have these
Election Desk
interesting
HQ
dynamics.
is saying that
It's
Trump's
not always
probably
clear,
going to take
though,
this
if
thing.
these ethnic groups vote.
What I'm seeing right now is 194 Trump to 95 Harris.
As you know, we have an expert.
Fucking nuts.
Well, and David, what are you hearing about Pennsylvania?
Well, it's still early, but
Pennsylvania law throughout the state.
I was just thinking of like,
Anyone is in line at 8 p.m. when polls
dude,
close.
it's still.
We're hearing that in Northampton County, where Lehigh University is, people are in line waiting to vote, and this might go for a while. And I've just confirmed with the Philadelphia City Commissioner that there are people in line still in Philadelphia waiting to vote, even now an hour after polls close. There have been a couple counties, Clearfield and Cambria, where the courts have ordered later poll closings, 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. respectively. And Cecilia,
Yeah, I'm
Nanner's
glad
right.
people are
There's
doing
those mail-in
things.
ballots.
Stop telling me about what other
2
people
million
are
of them
doing. I'm
came in
watching
early.
the election here, guys.
Pennsylvania is an outlier.
You guys
among
gonna go
states.
watch something else?
Wisconsin
You're
as well.
welcome to
They just
watch
won't have as
something
many of them, where they can't start processing them until this morning. So that's going to take some time. So they're going to do the best they can. They're going to be counting 24/7 throughout the night.
60 Minutes correspondent Bill Whitaker is here too, leading our democracy desk. And what are you hearing, Bill?
Nora, the FBI is reporting tonight that videos have surfaced online impersonating the FBI insignia to promote fake narratives.
How key will Michigan and Wisconsin and Illinois be? Michigan's going to be fucking
Now,
very key.
our similar videos out this weekend
He can win without it, but
attributed to Russia.
it's very narrow. Very, very, very narrow. Let's see what else we got here.
Carolina and Georgia moving toward.
See what else we got. I hated to bail on Brian like that, but I've got to get to the. I got to do the coverage here. I want to do the coverage. This is
Good
so
stuff.
important to me.
Oh shit.
You look like you needed some vodka. Take one with me. Yeah, I do need a shot. That's for sure. That's for sure. I definitely need one.
Divisions among us.
Bill Whitaker, thank you. Margaret, on that, we're going to get some exit polls in just a second. Why does Russia want Donald Trump to win?
Okay.
Well, U.S. intelligence would say they want Kamala Harris to lose, and therefore Donald Trump to win. But this comes right to the policy around Ukraine, which the Biden administration has been very much supportive of. There are a number of reasons in terms of just liking chaos, but trying to just instill some kind of division within the United States and exploit it. And that is what Russia's modus operandi have been, trying to be agents of chaos. And the threat doesn't stop with Election Day. It continues well after. U.S. intelligence has declassified a lot, including information that back in January, a Russian intelligence tried to hire Americans to carry out violence in the United States of America. So it is making us doubt ourselves, our systems, each other, and possibly stoke violence.
At this hour, every single battleground state has closed except Nevada. And so but they are all too close to call at this hour or a toss-up. But we do have exit poll information in some of these key battlegrounds, and John Dickerson is here with that.
We spent some time talking about younger voters, but actually at the other end of the age scale, older voters are A, interesting, and B, a whole lot more of the electorate. Let's start in Michigan and take a look at how voters who are older than age 65 are voting. There you see Harris.
177.99, baby.
Trump has.
Wow.
Bring me the AP.
That becomes increasingly historically interesting because in 2020, the share was roughly the same, and Joe Biden only won that group of seniors by 2 points.
Oh.
So Kamala Harris is up by 12 among seniors in Michigan. Joe Biden was only up by 2. Now let's hop on over to Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you see Harris up with voters over age 65, 58 to 42. In 2020, Joe Biden won that group, but only with 6% of the vote. So Harris is at 16, Biden was at 6. So that's another state, essentially Wisconsin, looking.
I'm
like
looking at
Michigan
the
when it
Fox
comes to
News
senior
Interactive
voters
map.
who are a larger share of the
I'm looking
electorate
at
than those
both.
younger voters. Now I've got us over in Pennsylvania. You see there, Trump is up 50 to 48. But
in 2020, Trump won that group of older voters by 7 points.
Yeah, Ohio's a big win.
So for him to only be up by 2 means he's not performing as well with older voters in Pennsylvania. So the message here, of course, and you remember there was that late-breaking poll
in Iowa.
Ann Seltzer in Iowa, which included in it that Kamala Harris was ahead in Iowa, which is a red state that Donald Trump should be ahead in. She said
Yeah, the AP has it, 177 Trump.
I can't break it down by gender for you, though. That is cutting the baloney too thin. So I can't.
Why are these motherfuckers always cutting baloney?
Baloney!
This, you know, I think for many of us to
Again with the baloney. Chad is just going to be saying baloney for like 2 hours now. Baloney. Baloney. The baloney. Balogna.
So red. Bob Evans gives 20 Crucible memberships. Appreciate it. I'm telling you though, this is giving me fucking 20. This is giving me 20, 25.
It's giving me the ick. The ick, Andrew. It's giving you the ick too.
Yes,
Ick.
A larger share
Ick.
of the electorate. So she's doing what,
Hawk to an election.
A larger share of the electorate. And what'll be interesting is as our reporting continues, and maybe it'll take a few days, is to figure out why that is. Are those older voters disappointed with the way Donald
sea
Trump has
lantern.
behaved? That's a question you have to be.
Let's go get some more. Make some.
And this again is why they've been so confident that ultimately they'd prevail in those big 3 states in the Midwest, is they knew, with elderly voters especially, they were going to do all right.
All right, Ed O'Keefe and everyone, thank you. When we return, we're going to check in with our correspondents in those battleground states, and especially Arizona, which perhaps some history has been made in the U.S. Senate there. CBS News America decides, election 2024. We'll be right back.
This is a really red map, but I'm telling you, I still got vibes, man. I'm telling you, I still think that I'm not sure about the Trump wave. I'm not sure. I think you better be cautious here. I mean, it's looking good. Georgia. It's looking good, but you better be cautious here. Okay? You better be a little cautious here. Oh, you know, nobody hopes I lose that bet more than me.
Stoke divisions in one.
But
Going deeper into the
let's face it. Let's take a look at the live board here. They got it at 168 Trump to 30 Harris. Popular vote thus far to Trump. This is wild. Wild. Hang on a second here. 1 second. 1 second. Hang on. I think Rob wants to pop on for a moment. Let me ask him. Yeah, we gotta listen. It looks really fucking good for us right now. You understand? It looks really fucking good for us. Really good for us. Like, only be cautiously optimistic at this moment, okay? Cautiously optimistic. We'll have Rob Knorr on. He's going to give us some updates. He's been watching this. I was checked out for just a second. Almost back to 6,000 live viewers as we continue our election coverage this evening right here on the Crucible. But we're going to wait. We got Rob coming up. Got him coming up. He's calling in just a second. We can get some fucking updates on what is going on right this second.
What's happening? How's it going?
What's up, man? You got a camera?
Yeah, I could bring. I think when you said call, I assumed you meant.
Well, I mean, I'm live streaming, right? People always want to see your beautiful face, Mr. Thorne.
They're not pissed at me because I yelled at you the other. I love that.
People get kind of goofy about shit, don't they?
So like, are they not men? Do they not know? Like it's like yeah, that's what we do. You know, like what the fuck? I don't get it. But anyways, yeah, it was fun to yell. We'll yell more in the future. What are you thinking about tonight, though?
I'm nervous. A little nervous here. Okay, it's looking really good for our side. So here's our numbers thus far. Okay, from what I can see from the Associated Press, 177 to Kamala 99. But the battleground states perhaps not looking so great for us necessarily. Not just yet. They haven't swung Republican just yet. Arizona, we're not. I don't. Here's my fear, Rob. Let me tell you some of my fears here. This is really giving me 2020 vibes, where I see a map that is so fucking red that it seems that it is impossible at this point for Trump to lose. But we're gonna not get the results tonight. I'm gonna wake up fucking tomorrow, and you know what happens from there.
Well, just don't go to bed. Then you win.
Right? Then you win, yeah.
Well, so let me first say I share your concern, but I have two ways to look at this. I have looking at it with my head and looking at it with my gut. With my gut, I think there's no way they'll leave Trump take office. That probably most likely means prevent him from winning tonight. If he does win, then they'll probably find some other manner, whether it be lawfare or something else, to prevent him from taking office. But if I'm looking at it with my head, I actually think there's way more reason to be optimistic as a Trump supporter than a Kamala supporter now. So first thing is, you have to look at sort of what the predictive, the people that are looking at the votes that are already in and how they're comparing them to how these particular counties have done in the 2020 election.
The comparisons that I'm seeing right now are that Trump takes it at 290. Close to it.
If you go to the Decision Desk HQ, I think they're the best that I see this year.
Yep.
They're suggesting overall that Trump has a 69.2% chance of winning it all. They're also suggesting when it comes to the Senate that the Republicans have, basically 100% chance, 98% they're saying. And in the House, they're even putting it at above 50%. So it looks like though the House races are precipitously dropping as we speak. They're only 52%, but it looks like to me, without them really saying it, the reason that number is so high for Trump is
hang on. I think we're at 210 now. That's what I'm hearing from the AP. Let me check the election desk or the election map. Is it 210 on the AP now?
Yeah, on Decision Desk.
I still see 177 on AP. So
Decision Desk has it at 210. So I don't know what they would have called. Let's see here. I'm on Pennsylvania. I don't want that.
You want to give us a Pennsylvania breakdown while you're on here too, Rob?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, first, anecdotally, I vote in Clay County, Washington Township. In 2020, it had 880 total voters. 70-something% went for Trump. So it's heavily Trump area. They told me at the polling place today that this was the first time that they could ever remember that there was a line before the polls even opened. So it's not going to be anything that'll be huge because it's such a small area, but it looks like there's going to be a bigger rural turnout, and I'm hearing that all across the state. It looks as if there's predicting people that I trust, like Mark Halperin and others that are talking, are suggesting that Philadelphia is probably going to need to have over 700,000 people turn out today to make up for the loss in the firewall. So going into Pennsylvania in 2020, Democrats had logged 1.1 million votes, give or take some.
Yeah,
so
but they have the numbers. What I'm seeing on the ground is that they have the numbers to make up that windfall from the deficit going in from the early voting. So what you're talking about is they needed to have X amount of early voting numbers in order to beat the same-day Republican turnout. Well, what they're reporting on the ground is that indeed the Democrats may indeed actually have those turnout numbers because they are turning out in mass.
Well, so that could be a possibility. We'll see. They suggested Philadelphia would require 700,000 votes. They're saying that there's 21% in Philadelphia right now, or in the county.
Hang on. We got from the Fox News desk, it looks like 195 Trump to 113 Kamala because they're calling North Carolina for Trump. That's a huge victory.
Yo,
it's huge.
Let's go.
let me check and see that I'm seeing that as well. Yeah, that's absolutely the case.
Yeah.
So the next to fall is going to be Georgia. So just so everyone who's listening knows, if the Rust Belts or if the Sun Belt states all go for Trump, and that would be North Carolina,
yeah,
Georgia,
dude.
which Georgia's looking good. North Carolina just got called. Then we got Arizona, Nevada.
North
if those
Carolina.
four go for Trump, then he only needs to win one of Wisconsin, Michigan, or Pennsylvania. Right
Dude,
now, it looks like the best chance of that is Wisconsin. The numbers, in fact,
this is
there's been
wild.
great for people
This is wild right now.
This team's been very upset about Wisconsin, thinking that's the weakest link in those. Basically, what I'm saying is this. I'll just break it down. According to Decision Desk and everything that I'm reading, it's basically a coin flip in Pennsylvania, and it's close to a coin flip, slightly favoring Harris in Michigan. Wisconsin, it seems to be slightly favoring Trump. If he wins Pennsylvania, that's pretty much it for the night. And it's basically 50-50 at this point. So now,
But we're not going to get the Pennsylvania numbers tonight, are we?
probably, well, they don't anticipate that there'll be a lot of outstanding votes, but here's the problem. There'll be enough that if it's within 10,000, nope, we won't know. And you're not even going to know the actual election day votes because you have counties like Cambria County where the machines weren't working, and so now they have to extend voting later than
Well, how
normal.
about the B threats? How about the B threats, bro?
Oh yeah, it's been literally a clusterfuck. So I mean, Pennsylvania. It's literally still a toss-up. So if you're looking at Decision Desk HQ, and it's like, well, how are they calling it? Basically,
what happened? I'm gonna go to look at my chat, see if anybody came in here. Network is going slow. I got a fast network right now. Oh, okay, good. One top message is one person, me. Yeah, buddy. Oh. I like my stream. Matt Walsh is live.
30 and under now don't have children.
Oh.
Half of them. Wow. Right. That we hit that milestone last year.
Okay.
Half of them will never have children. That's the prognostication. 95% of them will regret
The problem is because they don't have fathers and they're idiots. I agree.
We're already in a situation where we have doomed one woman in 4 to permanent isolation and alienation.
And don't forget, Dark Matter is the best Minecraft YouTuber.
Isolation and alienation.
And he's good at isolation and alienation. Dark Matter.
We have no idea how angry they are about that.
No, Dark Matter is angry.
But
why are they just talking about stupid shit? Oh, you want to talk about God? We can bring God into the conversation. What? I was just asking what you want for lunch. Oh, but the existential threat of God is ever lurking. Okay, Jordan. Oh, you don't understand. Wait, where was I? Okay.
yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah. It's basically 50-50. Now, Michigan's going to be the hardest one. Yeah, it's absolutely hit all 3. And there's reason for optimism if you're looking at things that are unreliable, such as exit polling, and things that are reliable, such as his overperforming in other states that we've seen. So look at it this way. Biden wins Pennsylvania in 2020 by like 1.2%. But many of the states, you see that Trump is overperforming his 2020 performance, such as like in Florida. He's outperforming the polls. He's outperforming what he did previously in Florida. And so,
but that was expected. That was expected by Democrats that he was going to outperform in these states, especially Florida, which have been moving more conservative and less Democrat because of I think that C-19 did a lot of this. In retrospect, there's a lot of trauma or traumatized Floridians who really have not done well under Biden. So I was hearing that Florida could have been a windfall towards Trump very early on. It looks like it was.
Well, that's true, right? But here's the thing, right? Like, it's outperforming what the polls were. Like, so the polls were suggesting Trump was going to win Florida by like 8, and he ends up winning by 13.
I've seen this conflicted with internal polling. Like the Democrat internal polling was looking at least these were the people I was talking to who were looking at the internal polls. They were saying that Florida, they basically had ruled it out. And you can note Harris hasn't done much in the way of campaigning in Florida.
Well, that's certainly true.
Yeah, for obviously a good reason. Her internal polling basically said you need to stay in Michigan and you need to be in these battleground states, and that's where she was. I mean, she's been in Michigan nonstop.
But if you look, okay, so then I still think that it's worth looking to Florida so overperforming what at least publicly was expected. But you can see this in other states as well. So some of the blue states like Virginia, New Hampshire, that she ends up winning, that they've called for her, the margin was much closer than it was in 2020. And so the question is, will that sort of thing apply to across states? It doesn't necessarily, but you'd rather be in Trump's position where it's like, hey, I'm doing better by 2 points in all of these other states, so there's a reasonable chance that I'll do better in Pennsylvania. And it was super close last time. Same could be said of Michigan, same could be said of Wisconsin. So at this point, you certainly would rather be in Trump's position. In addition to that, if you want to look at exit polling, which is always a risk, but if you look at it, what you see is there's a lot of things that look very shaky, such as exit polling suggesting that 78% of the country thinks that they're either disgusted or angered by the direction of the country. That looks really bad. There's young people in some of these exit polls are breaking 4 to 7% more for Trump. Hispanics are breaking more for Trump. Blacks are breaking more for Trump. And it looks like the percentage of white vote overall so far is outpacing what it was in 2020. All of these would be reasons to be optimistic if you're Trump, but it doesn't mean shit, because it could just mean that he goes from losing Pennsylvania by 1.2% to 0.1%. That's still a loss. And so the question is, will that be enough of a margin to take over one of these states?
Well, and people, when they look at this, like I'm looking at the Fox News electoral map here, we got Trump at 195 versus Harris 117, but they're not counting some states which are immediately going to go to Harris. For instance, California being a big one, right?
Exactly.
And you know how many electoral votes California's worth?
Yeah, it's what is it, like
54?
Yeah.
Yeah, 50.
So
she's at, I mean, if you start counting up these states, you very quickly come away with the fact that Kamala really, it looks like she has a bit of a benefit here, because Trump really has to get those battlegrounds in the worst way, those big three that Rob is talking about, or else he's basically fucked. I mean, she's going to close this gap really, really, really quickly. Just the second California comes in, she's damn near caught up to Trump right this second. Not to mention the fact that there's some of these other ones, Oregon, Washington, those are all going to go to her. You know what I mean, Rob? So this is definitely neck and neck.
Right. If you look at the predictive, right, without the swing states in right now, Kamala Harris has 226 and Donald Trump has 262. Well, let's revamp that. So we don't know Georgia yet, right? So take Georgia out of it. But now that we know North Carolina, we know Ohio, right? With the states that you could almost predict, let's take Arizona out as well, right? So right now we have Trump with 235, Kamala with 226. So they're basically close to even there. Trump's like 9 points higher there. That leaves the following states that will decide it. Georgia, which looks like Trump's got a really good shot of winning here. Then you have Arizona, Nevada. Okay, then you have the 3 Rust Belt states, Wisconsin, Michigan, PA. If Trump wins Georgia, what it's looking like, that puts him up to 251. Now, he needs 270, so that would mean if he wins Pennsylvania and Georgia, that's it, game over. He wins. That's 270 exactly, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't win PA, right, well, he could win Arizona, Nevada. That puts him at 268. That's what many people are predicting. Right now, it's literally Kamala has to win every one, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Or Nevada could go her way. Okay, now she's at 232. Trump's at 262.
Internal polling was not doing well in Nevada for Democrats.
Correct.
They were having a hell of a time there. They know that they're having a hell of a time there. Again, that part of the campaign strategy. Some of the campaign strategy for Democrats this time, which put them at a massive disadvantage, especially Kamala. She really just did not hit the campaign trail. She really just did not hit the campaign trail, and Trump really did hit the campaign trail. So there's a lot more enthusiasm in these states. It doesn't surprise me at all that you have a much higher voter turnout. The big problem that I'm seeing, though, is Republican strategy seems to bank on the idea that the early ballots, by the way, this was kind of the same strategy as last time. They were hoping on underperforming Democrat ballots the last go around. However, Democrats overperformed on mail-in ballots. Republicans did not see that coming. This time, though, that we walked in with a deficit, and they were expecting the Republican boots on the ground to be much higher to overcome that deficit. And we're not sure in these battlegrounds yet that is the case, though I think it could be. I think it could be in Michigan, and I definitely think it could be in Pennsylvania. And it looks to me anyway, that Georgia's likely going to go for Trump, like you're saying. I think it is.
So Decision Desk has it about 72% at this point for Trump. So that's a 3 out of 4 percent chance that they're saying that Georgia will go. Anything could happen. But let's assume Georgia's the next state we know. And let's assume that it goes for Trump. If Georgia goes for Trump, then these are the scenarios that he has to be able to win. He wins Pennsylvania, he could literally lose Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, Wisconsin, he still wins. So if he wins Georgia and wins Pennsylvania, game over. If he wins Georgia and he loses Pennsylvania, now his path is he could win Arizona and he could win either Wisconsin or Michigan. Or he could win Wisconsin and Michigan and lose Arizona and Nevada. So he needs to win 2 of the 3 of Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan. Arizona looks pretty good for him right now. Nevada would be bonus, and that could have different scenarios. But basically, what we're looking for right now is Georgia. Once Georgia's decided, then you'll know, okay, he wins Pennsylvania, it's all over, or he needs to win some combination of Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan. He needs to win 2 of those 3. Then you get different. If you throw Nevada in there, then the scenario gets a little different, right? So he could win
So
Nevada.
what are we at if he loses Pennsylvania? Okay, he gets Wisconsin and he gets Nevada. That seems like that could be a very likely scenario. Much better, I think, than Michigan, for instance.
He would still lose if he loses Michigan and Arizona. That would put him at 267.
And I think that puts her still in a stronger position than Rob, because I think Michigan's likely going to go for Harris. She was polling ahead, and with the voter turnout on the ground, Democrat-wise today, it has been incredible. I've been watching the reports from all over the state.
I just think because you see that it's a coin flip basically in all 3 of those states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and PA, if he does win these Sun Belt states and he wins one of those 3, that's it. So if you had to be in the position of you need to win 3 coin flips in a row, if you lose one of those coin flips, you lose, you don't want to be in that position. That doesn't mean you will lose, right? You still have a pretty solid shot of winning, but that's basically where it's at. So, like, for example, we're still looking at, Decision Desk puts 49-51% Pennsylvania, right? That's with 28% reporting. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Now, that's just looking at Decision Desk. If you look at other places, such as the New York Times Predictive, they're suggesting that actually there's a better chance that Trump's going to win Pennsylvania. So they have him at like 53-54% chance of winning Pennsylvania. So it's all in how you look at these. I would just say right now, my gut feeling on Pennsylvania is I don't have the faintest clue. It's really that close in Pennsylvania. It could go either way. I would not bet against Democrats, though, in Pennsylvania with their ballot harvesting mechanisms. I just wouldn't. So, I mean, and I feel the same way about Michigan. So for me, it's going to come down to Wisconsin.
Why didn't that
That's
picking us
honestly
up?
how I'm feeling about it. And, I'm trying to look my best to see what people are predicting. But, I mean, it's going to be damn close. I mean, there's a chance that Trump could clear all 3 of those, and then it won't look that close. But trust me, it was still close because we're at 9:40 at night, and we have no clue. We just have no clue who's going to win this thing.
Well,
So
and they're going to shut these polls down in a couple of hours, and they're going to shut down counting in a couple of hours, just like they did in previous years. So it would not actually surprise me if right around 11 o'clock Eastern or midnight Eastern time, poll workers are sent home and vote counters are sent home to go ahead and begin counting again tomorrow morning. That would not surprise me. In fact, I think it's fated to be that way.
I mean, I would say that that's likely to be the case, that we're not going to know tonight. And then it could come down to who wins Nevada. Well, I don't know if you've heard this story, but Nevada has made it legal that if there is not a date on a post or on an envelope with a ballot, you're allowed to accept it up to 3 days after the election. Now, the purpose of that is, let's say you sent your ballot out today but forgot to put a date on it. It should be counted. But in effect, what that means is if you wake up and you're a Democrat, even though it would technically be illegal, I think, for you to vote tomorrow, if you see that you only need 6,000 votes to win, hey, as long as you don't put a date in the envelope, they're not going to catch you. And so who the hell knows? We could be waiting for a week and a half if it comes down to deciding exactly what happens in Nevada to figure out what's going on. I mean, it's the chances of knowing tonight aren't that great. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, they're not, and I think everything that I'm looking at right now tells me that this is going to be another contested election.
Well, you've heard, I don't know how much you respect Ben Shapiro, but he does have a theory that I think is worth looking into. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but the census has all but admitted that they screwed up. And we all know that your electoral college allotment comes from the census, the percentage of the population you have in each state. They basically screwed up and gave New York and Delaware one extra electoral college and took two away from Florida. So if this ends with Kamala Harris getting 270 and getting 268, Florida is going to go to the Supreme Court. They were unable to go to the Supreme Court to change their electoral college votes because they don't have standing basically until they're aggrieved. But once the election goes 268 to 270, they'll say, well, we were aggrieved, which means in that scenario, the Supreme Court will literally decide, and both sides have a good argument. The Democrats' argument is going to be like, look, it doesn't matter if they messed up. You walk into the election basically under the agreement we're playing by these rules. And Republicans are going to say, yeah, but we couldn't sue for your mistake until the election was over. And my God, help us all if that's what ends up happening, because this country is going to be on
Well,
fire.
I got from Brandon, PA here. Almost everyone I know is pro-Trump here. I know that the rural counties everywhere are overperforming tonight in basically every state, including even states which are going to go for Kamala that are in the bag for Kamala. There is more hit back. It is actually possible that this could be the first time in a long time that the Democrats, even if they win the Electoral College, do not get the popular vote.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll see how that plays. It's going to be interesting. So just to give you an idea, I understand. Look, I'm with you. My gut still says Trump's not going to win. They're not going to let him, right? Yeah. But for the decision desk, they're predictive. They're suggesting at this point tonight that Trump has a 64% chance of winning.
Do you remember the New York Times needles, the election needles?
Yes.
Okay, I watched those election needles happen in 2020, and I watched as they put the predictor at 90% Trump with the needle over. And they went ahead and they sent everybody home, and by the next day, right, it was no longer the Trump election. The whole world was red. I remember he came out and he was like, everything's red, I'm winning everything. Suddenly they shut the whole fucking election down. By the next day, right, suddenly we're counting nothing but Democrat ballots. So the thing is like, I think, man, if tonight we don't get a call tonight, and if it looks like Trump is way ahead, right, I think that overnight, suddenly by tomorrow morning, we're gonna have a repeat, Rob. The stage looks very set.
Look, that's certainly true. First off, I remember the exact opposite of you. To be honest, I remember that election needle around 10 o'clock suggesting quite heavily that Democrats win. Maybe I'm wrong, because I remember, though, being on a panel and I was trying to explain to people, like, when you look at that and knowing what I knew, that they weren't counting the early votings until late, that Trump had to be up probably 700,000 to 800,000 to have a chance, and he was only up about 500,000 going into bed. And I said, that's it, Trump's lost. And maybe I'm wrong. I thought that needle was suggesting that Trump had like a 60 to 70% chance of losing, and it ended up being correct.
Not the New York, or not the
maybe not
those needles. At least not when I was watching.
Maybe okay, yeah.
But this is we got 210. Looks like we got 210 on 105 right now. Let's see what Fox News is saying here, Rob. You know what they're very cautious on their decision desk making, right? They're not gonna gamble nearly as hard as other places, even because they want to have a mathematical certainty, right? That way they don't call anything wrong.
Well, they didn't do that last time, but yes, they are slower. It's ironic. They were the first to call Arizona last time, and then it ended up being decided by like 12,000 or whatever. But yeah, they haven't called Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia. Everyone else has called North Carolina and Virginia. Virginia for the Democrats, North Carolina for Republicans. But they are being cautious. That absolutely seems to be the case this time. Pennsylvania, I still think Pennsylvania is a toss-up. We shall see. In fact, Decision Desk HQ literally has it 50-50 right now. The New York Times has Trump's chance of winning Pennsylvania it just says toss up. But they do have a 69% chance of a Trump victory at this point. And again, I think the way they're coming up with that number is they're deciding it's literally going to come down to Kamala Harris is going to have to win Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, and they're basically all three a coin flip. And so they're saying that basically you have a 70% chance of winning if you only need to win one of those three.
Well, I have,
again,
Rob, I have another stream to get to. I got to take a leak real quick. Can you hold mine down for just a minute?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, sure. And then I'll bounce out after you get back. But yeah. But anyways, it's nice talking to the Crucible audience. I would suggest this, right? First off, I would be remiss if I didn't say, if you are a Christian, you know that the ultimate answer to everything is through the Lord, and that your afterlife will be taken care of. Now, why do I say this? Don't lose your head. Don't do something that jeopardizes yourself, your family, your ability to be a provider. Don't take the bait with all these damn Fed posts that if Trump loses or if it looks shady, that you're going to go say something or do something terrible. You shouldn't do that. We're men. We understand life goes on. We have loved ones. Having a family is more important than all of this. That's the most important thing. That's number one. Number two, it's certainly still anyone's race. So don't get overconfident or too depressed right now. We'll have to see what happens. I'm hopeful. I'm still optimistic that according to the numbers, things don't look bad for Trump right now, and you would rather be in Trump's position. However, my gut still tells me they're not going to let Trump win this. I predicted Trump would narrowly lose before the election, before today. I'm still predicting that today. So for me, what you want to be looking at if you're trying to follow this is the next state you want to look at is Georgia. You want to see where Georgia's going. Right now, you have 78% in. Trump is winning 52.5% to 46.9%. According to Decision Desk, if we look at that specifically in Georgia, they are predicting that it is a 65% chance that Trump wins Georgia. So that's gone down quite considerably since 9 o'clock when it was 83%. That's huge. If Trump loses Georgia, his path becomes far more difficult. So still definitely leaning towards Trump in Georgia, but it's definitely tightening. Right now, in fact, they're predicting that it'll end up with the popular vote share. Trump will have 50%. And Kamala Harris will have 49.2%. So we'll see how that ends up. But yeah, that's going to be where you're going to want to be looking at. So the ones you want to look at right now is you want to look at Georgia. And then after that, once we see what goes on there, you want to look at Pennsylvania. If he wins Georgia and Pennsylvania, that's it. Game over, Trump wins. If he loses either of those, it becomes much tighter. Now you're talking about, if he loses both of those, now he has to win basically Wisconsin and Michigan, which is going to be difficult.
Gotcha. Well,
but
Rob,
that's what I got for
Rob,
now. So.
I do got to roll. I got to head back over to whatever we were doing a live stream over there. Thank you so much for popping on. Can you really quickly though, before you go, I'm not going to let you get out of here without shouting at your channel to 6,000 live viewers. Tell them all where they can find you.
Yeah, thanks. Normal America with Rob Noor on YouTube, or just Rob Noor spelled Noerr on X, Twitch, Rumble, and all those platforms. Always great to be working with the Crucible and Andrew Wilson. My favorite person to work with online, whether it be yelling at or yelling with other people, or yelling with it to other people. So it's always fun.
Half the fun. Have a great one, Rob. You take good care of yourself. Sorry, I had to split off there, but I got to get back to this. We will wait real quick and head back into this call with Brian. Should be good. As our election coverage continues here this fine evening. Guys, I think she takes it. I'm looking at the math. It's really tight.
Fuck that.
Really tight, guys. Really tight here. All right, there we go.
Okay, so
Oh, you don't believe in equality?
when it comes to balloting,
Obviously not.
when it comes to balloting, do you have Andrew? Try to call.
Brian talking about bowing. Always.
We got Andrew back, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, Andrew.
Andrew, you missed out on some. We talked about who's the primary victim of war,
Yeah.
but we pretty much wrapped up everything. She's gonna she did hit a bow though, so I got the feminist to hit a bow.
Well, that's good.
Hit a bow. So that was good. Andrew, any parting words to our dear DeGenmark friend?
Good luck and all that. We have an election this fine evening to cover, so you need to get out of the studio so we can get back to covering that.
But thank you for coming. And Andrew, maybe we get her on one of the dating talks next week.
Sure, that'd be a lot of fun.
We'll talk.
They're not usually as combative as this, right? So.
Yeah, and the attention won't be solely focused on you if we get. But hey, I do appreciate you coming on the show. Most people who voice these kinds of criticisms, when I invite them to have a conversation or have a debate, even if they ask for it initially, they tend to either cower, back out. I have to at least give you props for coming in and being prepared to, come on the show and voice your criticisms to my face. Most people, I'll give you credit, don't have the bravery to even do that. So I give you credit there.
Did you just say something nice about a feminist?
Well, with the caveat that I still disagree with like everything you say, pretty much. But most things you say. But no, look, I will always give credit where credit is due. The amount of women who voice similar criticisms to yourself, who just refuse to actually, and they'll even ask for a debate. Oh, I bet you wouldn't. They'll say, Andrew, I don't know if you recall that woman who said, you guys are too pussy. You guys would be too scared to have a conversation with me.
Yeah, no, I remember.
And then I'm like, I'm always, even if they're insulting like that, I'll always be super polite and I'll be like, we'd be happy to have you on the show. Come debate us. They always back out. They always cower. So I give you credit for actually coming and having a conversation. Thank you for coming.
Daryl, thank you so much for the
Enjoy your
100.
time
I really
in
appreciate it. It's very
California
kind
or
of
the
you.
United States, wherever you end up.
She's leaving. So we can get back to the election here, guys.
What's that song? It's closing time. You can't stay here. Something like that. No, but thank you for coming. I hope you have a good night.
Well, you too. Enjoy your election out there.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming. Good night.
Get out. Get. We got an election to get to. All right,
we're back to it. I got to step away for just a moment.
No problem.
Andrew, I'll be. Actually, no, I'll stay for just a minute, but I'll have to step away here for a moment. What's the news? What's the news with the election?
All eyes on Georgia. These margins are so narrow you can cut them now with a knife. We were just going over this with political analyst Rob Knorr. Looks like Trump's pathway to victory, he's going to need one of three of the northern states. Let's pull up the map here. Give me a second. I'll pull this up and we can go over it real quick. I think that the AP is a little bit behind at the moment, though they're casting it at 188 to 99. Trump's going to need Pennsylvania or Michigan or Wisconsin. He's likely going to need one of those. Harris is in a much better position than he is. They have not added the 54 electoral votes from California yet. That's definitely going to go to her. Most of the eastern states are going to go to her. Arizona, he's pulling way ahead. We have no results out of Arizona yet at all. And it looks like we're not going to actually know who wins this election tonight. It does not look good for knowing who's actually going to win. Pennsylvania is saying that they're going to extend it for a significant amount of time, so we're just not sure yet.
Pennsylvania, man. They got all them dudes there.
Not sure. Damn, but it's very likely that that at least we're not going to know tonight. So we're right now they're trying to go through these various battlegrounds and figure it out. Decision desk keeps on flipping back and forth, giving it to Trump, and then kind of counter signaling themselves. Hard to say how this is all going to go, but they extended the voting hours in Arizona. They've extended the voting hours all over the place. I just don't think we're going to end up knowing tonight, Brian. And here's the thing. If they shut this thing down tonight, and the battleground states are still in play, when you wake up tomorrow, Kamala Harris will be the next president of the United States. I can guarantee it.
Why do you say that, though?
I can't say so on on YouTube.
Oh,
But
okay.
but
I know what I know what you mean.
but chances are good. Chances are good. So
Not definitively though,
You should.
right? Like he could still clutch the W.
he could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could.
Look,
I mean, we just don't know. We just don't know.
look, you know what? The red sky from earlier, I think that's a sign. Also, the astrological charts are looking really good for a Trump W. So, like, let's not discount that, okay?
Oh yeah, the astrology. I wish we had a team of whatever witches in there right now, so that they could cast their fucking hocus pocus and pull out the tarot cards for us, Brian, and then they could use their manifestation in order to manifest Trump into being president for the low price of $199.99, right? And they will manifest whatever you want.
Oh, man. By the way, that witch, the witch that you talked about who did the curses or the hexes or whatever, I was trying to invite her back on the show, and she said that, I want to pull it up, but she demanded, I think, like a $10,000 payment to come back on the show.
The one who ate her boogers?
Yep.
Ugh.
That one? The one who
What?
picked her nose and then ate it?
Yeah. And she was
That
like,
was
well,
fucking wild. She did the thing too, Brian, where she went digging, and then she pulled it out and looked at it, and then ate it.
yeah, it was crazy.
That was wild. I was like, what? One of the viewers clipped it, and man, that was something.
What?
Did you catch that during the show? Because I didn't see it during the show.
I didn't see it either. A viewer clipped it and sent it over to me, and then I tweeted it out, and then I think that's where you caught it, and then you made a better clip of it. But
Yeah, we clipped it and made a little fun at it.
But I was like, bro, there's no way. I was like, what? How? She did the whole up there. She was digging for gold, pulled it out, looked at it right in the mouth, popped it right in the mouth.
Ugh.
Mm.
Ugh.
It was so gross, dude. So gross.
Yeah. So you're if you're saying if some of these key battleground states, if we don't get a determination tonight on some of the stuff, and it ends up that we're gonna figure this out tomorrow, it sounds like under those circumstances you're leaning heavily towards Harris winning the presidency.
I'm leaning heavily towards it right now.
So even in general, even if these numbers do come in tonight, do you have a sense, what are you leaning towards right now, Trump or Kamala?
I think Harris is going to take it. It's not looking. It's not. Well, listen. It's
not looking good.
It's possible. But I'm looking at the math, and there's just so few ways for Trump to take it. Harris just is in a better position right now. Ultimately, she's in a better position.
On this map that we have, can you just pull that up really quick? On this map that we have here, can you, and then just go ahead and hide it. So if it's the dark red or the dark blue, that's definitive, right? Like
that's been called.
It's done. It's been called. Okay. And then the light blue it's still up in the air. So your state of Michigan, what do you think is going on in your home state there? Right now it's currently a light blue, leaning towards Kamala. Do you think Donald Trump has a chance in Michigan?
Oh, well, yeah, he has a chance. It's just not looking very good. Voter turnout in Michigan was extremely high, and they spent a lot of their ground game in Michigan, knowing that this was something which was going to happen. Kamala campaigned here pretty heavily. And yeah, so they had the polls at a plus going in, and early voting actually looked pretty good in Michigan too. So the Democrats' likelihood of taking is very, very high. Wisconsin, not so high. So even if Trump gets Wisconsin and Arizona, he still loses. So that's not good. Yeah, yep. That's not good.
I mean, Michigan's it's a swing state, right?
Yeah, it swings between. Yes, that's correct. It is a battleground state for sure.
And then what's anything on Pennsylvania? It looks pretty close in Pennsylvania.
It's really close. I've heard it said both ways. Some people are saying mathematically it's impossible for Kamala to take PA at this point. There are people who are saying, looking at various polls that say that also is true, but I'm not sure if that's true. It's looking like it's about to flip back to red from blue. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Trump will take it either. We just don't know.
I do see at least the current numbers on what I'm looking at the Associated Press that Kamala is just 10,000 votes ahead in Pennsylvania. So we'll see. But and are there any? Have there been any sort of what's the term? Surprising so far? Anything surprising here that we can see when it comes, or you know?
Nothing yet. There's nothing that is particularly of shock. In fact, I would say that this is very close to the last election map. It's looking very close. I mean, it just got Trump, by the way, just bumped up. You see that to 198 in the electoral votes. This path to 270. We're looking here. 1 second. Let me refresh here real quick.
The Utah that just came in.
Yeah, but I mean, these are all expected states. Again, these are all expected states for him. So,
yeah.
At this point, there's nothing which is really standing out as like, wow. Now, if we get Pennsylvania, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Oh, it just turned. Can you pull that up, Damien? It just turned red. Trump ahead 4,000 votes in Pennsylvania. Just turned. Well, not the light red. So go ahead and hide that. So Nevada is also a swing state, right?
Yeah, it is. But Nevada is really worth it. So, there's offsets on both sides for this. Like, for instance, Trump could get the 3 northern battleground states, and then, who cares about... well, I'm sorry. I was looking at Nevada, not Arizona. Arizona's 11, so I'm sorry. That's a significant amount, but he could still win without it. But there's a good possibility that he gets Arizona.
Got it. And when it comes to Nevada, Dean and what's his name, Parker, they're campaigning on the ground in Nevada. Have you gotten an update from them? He backed out of the debate that we were going to have with you and him. Have you talked to him at all, or is he still dodging?
Yeah, I've sent him multiple DMs. He just refuses to talk to me now.
Yeah.
So it's a complete duck. Even though I got him on video, people show it every time he calls somebody out and debate me. People just post a video of you going, "Why'd you do that to whatever?" And Brian, they don't know what to say. He's never responded to it even once.
Yeah. Well, and this whole cope about him not wanting to debate you, because we had previously, some things we had it scheduled, but all the time things get rescheduled, things get canceled. It's super common, at least with our dating talk, people are frequently, canceling on us. We reschedule them. It's not a big deal. He's just using
tweet came just in. Hang on, I'm sorry. This tweet from Destiny. He tweeted out, "It's over. I'm calling it. Harris wins."
Really?
Yeah, Destiny is calling it. I've been guessing that he's seeing perhaps the same things I'm seeing here on the ground, but yeah, this tweet from I'm calling it. Harris wins. What's that?
Is he done with his stream?
No, he just tweeted it out. I think you guys can go to Destiny's Twitter and see it. The Omni Liberal. It's over. I'm calling it. He says Harris wins. Now that could, of course, not be the case, but Decision Desk is calling VA blue. Is that true? Let me take a look real quick at Decision Desk and see.
Virginia?
Yeah, if they're calling Virginia blue here.
On the AP, I still see Trump 50,000 votes.
Yeah, but it depends on how many counties are coming in. There's only so many registered voters. So you can actually be mathematically certain in some cases, even with a low percentage of the vote in, who's going to win.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what everybody's looking at. And of course, right now, everybody's trolling each other. Everyone's talking shit to each other. So you don't know what's true, what's not true exactly. But we can look at the math ourselves and kind of make some of the determinations. Let's see what Decision Desk is saying. Decision Desk is definitely putting it. They're definitely calling Virginia or Harris. So, but they still have Trump's chances of winning at 68%, which has actually significantly dropped from when I looked at it earlier. They had him, I think, at 75%. So, let's see. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Pennsylvania. My bad. Yeah, Pennsylvania. They haven't called Pennsylvania, by the way. I'm sorry. That was my bad.
Looks like it's actually. Can you pull up the map, Damien? Yeah, it just flipped back on Pennsylvania there. Just flipped back to light blue. So we do have Oregon coming in, and Arizona, New Mexico there, light red. So you can hide that.
Yeah, so we got Trump 198.99. So it does look, though, that even if Trump loses, there's a good likelihood he gets the popular vote, which is, well, that'll kind of kill the Democrat talking point of we should just have the popular vote, right? Even though I actually wouldn't mind the popular vote, as I think then California and places like this would probably. They would probably turn out a lot more. There's a lot of people in California, places like this, that don't vote at all because what's the point? You know,
that's actually a really good point. I know a lot of people in California. They just because they're in California, they know it's going to go blue. They know it's going to go Democrat. They just don't even bother. I'm here in California. The amount of people I've heard who are Trump supporters, but are like, I'm just not voting. In fact, I think we had a girl on the show the other day who she said, "Yeah, I'm just not even going to vote." Because it doesn't really matter. I'm here in California. I do have just 2 TTSs I'm going to let come through here.
Sure. Yeah, take your time, man.
Reaper donated $69.
Thank you, Reaper. Appreciate it.
Which has always set the universities at Wisconsin with outside voting from kids whose only worry is party or be special from other states. The people who actually work hard build Wisconsin Falls deaf.
Yeah, Reaper, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support and the TTS.
So hang on. I guess Destiny on his stream now is panicking and screaming, "Stop the count!" because something is going on in Philadelphia that he's upset about. Can we tune into Destiny's stream so we can see what they're coping about? Let's see what Destiny and them are coping about.
Up right now.
Let's see it. Let's see it. What are they coping about? PA is red again. Pennsylvania is red.
Yo.
Here's the thing. If you get Pennsylvania, it is red, and it does look like Georgia's going red.
Yo.
And it looks like New Mexico is going to go red, and that's a big fucking problem, right?
I was with you about Georgia. I mean, right now it's Trump looks to be over, at least now, 200,000 votes ahead in Georgia, 81% reporting. Do you think Georgia is going red?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have the Destiny stream? Okay, let's go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah, let's pull it up.
Where are we going?
Wait, no. Oh, wait. Oh, no, this is... Okay, yeah, go ahead, play it. Wait, why is...
Security back there?
Why is he being followed?
Where's the cope? I thought there was cope over here.
I thought there was cope over here.
Sneeko. Why are we watching them watch Sneeko?
Fuck guys. I guess we missed it, but was that Amaranth with him on Destiny stream?
Yeah, he has a whole shitload of streamers. All of them are part of the Progressive Victory crew. There's like 60,000 people watching over there right now because the coalition of evil has all gotten together. And you know, Brian, it's just the two of us, right? It's just Brian Atlas and Andrew Wilson against the world, against the whole world. That's all we got.
Well, it looks like it just updated here. Harris bumped up to 109. 109. So, what did she get? She just got what locked in for her? Was it New York?
Well, somebody in my chat was like, "Well, you just got trolled." Well, I couldn't have gotten trolled. My wife, unless my wife was the one who trolled me, because she was the one who went over and looked and said that they're freaking out about something. So,
yeah, I don't know.
So it definitely wasn't the chat that trolled me then. But the coalition of Progressive Victory and the evil doers over there, it's not, it's just us boys. We're what we got. Whatever. The Crucible chat, and the few others out there who are adamant Trump supporters. We're kind of proud to say that they are. There's not that many of us left, but man, this is a close race. It's a close race. And I got my chat's pissed at me because they just want to hear Trump's going to take it. Trump's going to take it. But, you gotta be cautiously optimistic. These battlegrounds that's where it's at. Let me look at the map here again. Can you pull it back up? Pull up. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, we still got a lot in play. PA is going to be, man, PA in Georgia. If we get PA in Georgia, we probably got it. Probably got it.
F11. Can you video tab, my bad. Go to the video tab. There we go. Hover over PA for us. No, wait. Can you go back? Zoom out? Yeah. There's PA. Trump ahead, about 70,000 votes.
Well, refresh it because it keeps on flipping back and forth, so we don't know.
But it's only 49% reporting in Pennsylvania, so it's...
Yeah, but that may not matter because if you reach a certain threshold, there's going to be a mathematical certainty or non-certainty just based on the number of registered voters. So.
I just broke my good pick.
I need to step away for... Actually, wait,
Wasn't
before I
paying
do,
attention.
I have 2 chats I need to just come through.
Yeah, sure.
I am an unfold now donated $69. Remind you a first-time donator, current Patreon. Whoever wins the election, the US is screwed. You either have the claim of election individual in power or a convicted criminal in power.
Who cares? Fuck.
We're definitely more screwed if Kamala wins.
Yeah. Fucking nice.
Yeah. I mean, look, if we're gonna go down anyway, can I at least have a guy who's really funny? Right? Instead of, do I need to hear this woman's voice? If we go down in flames, do I have to hear, excuse me, it's not my fight, excuse me? Do I have to fucking hear that on my way out? Do we have to do that? No, we don't have to do that, right?
Well, the big issue is just looking at immigration. The current rate of immigration that's occurring is just unsustainable, and there's a lot of negative ramifications of what's going on when it comes to legal immigration. So, I have one more chat here. We have Kamala herself.
Kamala donated $200.
Thank you.
Awesome politics episode. Kamala 2025, no project 2025.
Well, Kamala, thank you so much for taking the time away from your very busy, election day here to redirect campaign donations to the Whatever podcast. I do appreciate that.
Very kind of them.
I'm sure your Democrat donors are going to love that one. Thank you. Appreciate it, Kamala. I have to step away for just a second. Andrew, if you can just take over for a moment.
Yeah, sure. So you can understand that that it would be very upsetting news for me and the rest of men who have actual testosterone in their body, that they really don't want to hear this cackling witch for the next 4 years. It sounds awful. I believe that my argument of not voting for Kamala based on her laugh when it got out into the ethos, if Trump does win, is directly responsible for his victory. Because after all, that emotional appeal, I think, most men can relate to it. Nobody wants to hear this fucking chick's voice for the next 4 years. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody. Anywhere. Ever. They don't. They don't. Wisconsin, 95% in. Trump is up 400K per decision desk. Yeah, well, he could still lose Wisconsin, so that's the thing. He can still lose with Wisconsin. Yeah, New York Times has him at 77%. I get it. I understand. I saw this all before. Boys, I saw this all before. Just be careful. Just be careful. Yeah, I don't want a male first lady either. Yeah, that sounds awful. You're commenting on other election coverage. Red Eagle Politics is doing solid at county by county coverage. W. Andrew. No, nobody wants her voice. No, nobody wants to hear her fucking voice. Nobody. So there's that. And no, I don't think it's sexist if you don't want to hear this chick's voice, right? Because we all have my preferences. And my preferences are not to hear this chick's voice. It's my preference. It's my preference. temples just closed in Arizona. Well, we're going to get some updates here pretty soon. It is possible. It is possible that we do know tonight. It is possible. I'd like nothing more than an Orange Man victory. But I'm cautious with optimism, right? Trump is still 70K up in PA. Yeah. Arizona just flipped. Which way? Which way? Which way did it flip? See which way it flipped. Arizona. It's a toss-up. If you put your cursor over Arizona, what's it saying here? Okay, so it flipped towards the Democrats for right now. Go over to PA. Let's take a look at that. So it looks like PA, we still got Trump ahead. That's looking really good. And then go down to Georgia. And Georgia is looking really good for Trump. And then what about Wisconsin? So Wisconsin, man, that you could cut that with a knife. It is so close. That is so close. And then what about Michigan? What are we looking like over there? 19% reporting. Kamala Harris is way ahead there. I don't think that she's going to take Michigan. Yeah, I don't know. Let's move it down. Okay, let's take a look here. Look how red it is. Isn't it amazing that Democrats with so few states can get so many votes? Like California, it's so fucking ridiculous, dude. Right?
Andrew, sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
I was just saying I had a super chat here. What do you say to argue back to the annoying economy is bad because we're under Trump's tax code right now? Well, that has nothing to do with Biden's he passed a Inflation Relief Act, which actually was a massive scam that sent billions upon billions of dollars to alternative green energy firms. And that boosted inflation along with what he did during the C-19 relief. No, fuck no, it has nothing to do with Trump's economy. Trump's economy is badass.
I was going to ask you, so related to the comment you just made about, the states and the Electoral College. So Ween, that's why I think I'm going to call him Ween. He makes an interesting argument that I first heard on his Jubilee appearance, that the Electoral College is DEI because it was designed to be more inclusive of rural Americans by giving them the same representation despite having lower population compared to high-density areas. What do you think of this argument, and what would your counter to this argument be?
Well, I would just say, one, why would they care? They love DEI. That's one. So I don't understand what their objection would be, considering that they love DEI. But then the second one would just be fine. Abolish the Electoral College, let's go off the popular vote. I don't think that would go as well for them as they think.
Typically, I think it's come up. He uses it more so as an example of if there's a criticism of DEI, you'll say, well, actually, you're in favor of DEI because you think that these more rural states, they have, I guess, disproportionate, their voting power goes further in some of these states that tend to lean more Republican.
Well, they need those states' resources. That's why. What do we do DEI for? Because it's the opposite. The bigger states want more states' resources. They got to get them a bigger say, or they won't stay in the union. We know that because we had an entire civil war. So, if this was flipped, you would just say, with DEI, it's the opposite. That's what makes no sense, right? So it makes no sense.
Yeah, that's true. Hold on, guys. And hold on, guys. I had one chat that came in. Thank you, Sean Davis.
Sean Davis donated $49. Hi guys, in New Zealand, and I am watching here, and I hope Trump wins as well. So you are no alone. USA in trouble if Harris and the woke brigade win. So go Trump.
Hey, Sean Davis, thank you so much for the TTS. Hope you're having I don't know if it's daytime, nighttime in New Zealand. Is that female prime minister, the Ardern? What's her name in New Zealand? Is she still the
Was Iowa called by who? Who was Iowa called by?
Jacinda Ardern? Is she still? No, she's the former prime minister. I don't know who the new one is. Succeeded by Chris Hipkins. Okay. Or wait, no. Succeeded by, yeah, Chris. Andrew, I was watching an interview with J.D. Vance, and he said that, and I believe maybe we've talked about this too, if the Republicans lose, if Donald Trump loses, that because of the Democrat policy as it relates to immigration, they're going to be importing immigrants into some of these swing states. They're going to turn them blue permanently, and then the Republicans will never, ever again be able to win an election. Do you think that there's merit to these claims? I certainly think there is, but
Well, I mean, that has, in some ways, this backfires, right? So it turns out that importing a bunch of Catholic Hispanics in mass by the second or third generation, they become based-ass conservatives. And the Democrats have to contend with the fact that that could win them elections now, but the places that they're pulling from are highly religious demographics. And by the second or third generation, they tend to vote on the Republican side. So while they could potentially fill this up, it's a double-edged sword, right? They're having to deal with this already now with the fact that the Hispanic electorate has been moving more and more right. And even the black vote has been moving more and more right. This is now something that they have to contend with. So yes, it is true that you could possibly fix a few elections going forward, but elections take a long time, presidencies between each other. Right, you get 4 presidents before all of those people you imported are already having the next generation, right? So yeah, you have to be very cautious about that. They bring in their own families, right? They have their own sons, daughters, and they have kids. You can have a third generation here within 20 years, and it can be a major issue for them to do that. They're already paying the piper for that in many ways. In fact, I would say this. I would say that if they had had an immigration moratorium and they had said, let's just say this hypothetically, they had said only whites are allowed to be inside the United States. That's it. Nobody else. Just people from white countries. That's all. The map based on female white voters would likely still be more, if not, it would probably be more progressive than with Hispanic immigrants in modernity. It might be more progressive because look at the Scandinavian nations, places like this, highly progressive nations. So, yeah, the thing is like, it's not always clear that because you have somebody scratch your back now for the benefits, that by the second or third generation they're going to do the same thing, because they definitely don't.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys. 1 sec. I'm getting something pulled up on my computer here.